assignment for Mr. Kanda. I have to make an entire movie, like by myself, on the weapons of World War I.
No problem. I got an educational video for you. Make it all better.
Really, man?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Wow, that's so nice.
This is so. The area between opposing trench lines, known as no man's land, was fully exposed to artillery fire from both sides. Fighting trenches were usually about 12 feet deep. Trenches were never straight, but they were zigzagging or stepped pattern. No man's land became a barren wasteland of mud and deep holes formed by artillery shells. These shell holes became obstacles, but at the same time provided shelter for soldiers as they charged the enemy trenches. The soldiers called these charges going over the top. This meant that they would go over the top of the trench into no man's land without shelter from the enemy, machine gun, rifle, or artillery fire.
Machine guns were one of the most common weapons used in World War I. They have been one of the best weapons used in any war aside from its significant role in the Great War. The impact of machine guns was very powerful, and it could defeat hundreds of thousands of soldiers at the same time. Machine guns of all armies were largely of heavy variety and decidedly ill-suited for portability for use by rapidly advancing infantry troops. The 1914 machine gun, usually positioned on a flat tripod, would require a gun crew of 4 to 6 operators. In theory, they could fire 400 to 600 small caliber rounds per minute, a figure that was to more than double the war's end. With rounds fed by fabric belt or a metal strip, some of the guns used include German Maxim MG 815, Italian Fiat Rivoli 6.5mm, Italian Villar Persa SMG, the Danish Madison, British Vickers Mk1, and the British-French portable Hotchkiss LMG.
Chemical weapons in World War I were primarily used to demoralize, injure, and kill entrenched defenders. It was a good terror weapon to instill confusion and panic among the enemy. The types of weapons employed ranged from disable chemicals such as tear gas and the severe mustard gas to lethal agents like phosgene and chlorine. Only 4% of combat deaths were caused by gas. It was sort of a psychological weapon, with the non-lethal tearing agents inflicting as much panic as the dreaded mustard gas. Gas masks were essential to survival.
Stop! Don't fall over!
My eyes! It hurts! Tanks consisted of a crew with a commander, a driver, 2 steermen, and 4 gunners. Most World War II tanks could travel only about walking pace at best. Their steel armor could stop small arms fire and fragments from high explosive artillery shells. However, they were vulnerable to direct hits from mortar and artillery. Early tanks, known as landships, take their name from their seagoing battleship counterparts, were largely pioneered by the British Navy and began life as awkward-shaped steel beasts with side-mounted cannon and machine gun armaments. Such armored vehicles helped to break the stalemate along the Western Front and force the armistice.
Mostly for artillery spotting, scouting, and mapping out enemy trenches and reconnaissance. World War I planes could fly up to 145 miles per hour. Planes were usually armed with Maxim guns. Typical 1914 aircrafts could carry only very small bomb loads. Artillery spotting made airplanes a very important weapon in the war. Most war-built submarines had 1 and sometimes 2 guns of about 3 or 4-inch caliber. Several later German submarines carried 150mm guns. Submarines could carry 700 tons of cargo at 12 to 13 knot speeds on the surface and 7 knots submerged. Submarines were mainly used for stealth.
That was so good. But
How did you like that?
why not?
That sucked.
That was terrible. The acting was just
sucked.
bad.
It was bad.
Why do you guys always hate me? Gas masks were essential to surviving.
Say that again. Oh, never mind. Come back, Alex, come back.
Alex, come back.
Alex, come back.
Bailey, you just fell for no reason.
Get up.
Wait, no. Let's see what it's like if you turn the fan on. Turn the fan on.
Oh, wrong way.
Oh god!
Blooper reel.
Don't do any damage.
Okay, turn it on.
Every time I played off this character.
No interruptions from the peanut gallery.
What?
Action.
Just stare at this thing for a while. Give it a few seconds, and whenever you're ready, guys. I can't say action during the.
I was waiting for
Josiah says. Josiah does